You would all know what a special lady my Emma was.
I feel privileged to have been her daughter and her friend and learnt such valuable lessons from her.
Her absolute devotion to her family, friends and community is something we could all learn from her. In her house was always open to her children, her grandchildren, her friends and the community at large. Most people here would have experienced her hospitality, whether for a Shabbat, Yom Tov meal or charity event hosted at her home. Her generosity to those less privileged was well known.
Both my parents were big advocates to spend time with loved ones while they were alive and made huge efforts to go to family simchas all over the world. Accordingly, they had such wonderful memories and connections with all branches of the family and have made sure that we are also connected with all the mishpacha. She had huge respect for her siblings, although both brothers passed away a number of years ago. Both her sisters-in-law had huge respect for her and would call her, or recently called me when she couldn't take calls, weekly. Her brothers and sisters-in-law from other side called every week to wish her Shabbat Shalom. Everyone loved her. No one had a bad word to say about her. She was kind to everyone.
I feel blessed not only to have been able to look after her and tend to her needs in the last few years, but to know that I did my best to give her some joy in every day that she had. From taking her to shows at the opera house that she loved, to movies, restaurants, bridge games, to giving her all her favorite treats, cakes, chocolates, ice creams. Mango. Sadly, over time, it was hard to take her to most of these things, but I continued to give her some pleasure, even if it was just a few teaspoons of mango till the very last few weeks. I feel blessed to have been able to devote myself to her and in her final few days and weeks.
I have wonderful memories from my youth where we travelled all over South Africa and the world and feel blessed that my parents gave us those wonderful opportunities. I was so happy to be able to take my mother to Israel twice after my father passed away and know that despite the hardships of the actual travel, she loved being there and spending time with her family and friends. She had some wonderful friends who played bridge with her, even when she couldn't really play. Can't say that.
Play very well.
They had such love and respect for her, and they still came every Wednesday, played some bridge, and had a cup of tea and a chat.
Although she lost the ability to talk a while ago, she enjoyed having visitors at the Monty, and even if it was only a small smile or opening her eyes to acknowledge visitors, I know she loved having people around her and hearing their stories. She would enjoy fun conversations with family and friends overseas and enjoyed listening to them tell her all their news. She never knew her grandparents. All were killed by Hitler, and I know she appreciated her grandchildren more because of that, and tried to connect with each and every one of them and give them as much love and nurturing as possible. I know my children loved spending time with her, and she loved hearing their stories, and feel honoured that they got to spend so much time with her.
Emma had lived in Sydney for longer than she had lived in any other country. She was happy to be considered Israeli, South African, or Australian, and had friends from each of her homelands. This has been so evident in the past few days when I've gotten messages from all corners of the world from people who had loved her like their own families and are sharing in our grief. She will really be missed from all over the world.
Pesach was always a special holiday for our family where we shared our very large Seder table with family and friends, and I know that for many people this last Pesach there was sadness that Emma wasn't there at the Seder table. We will remember all the Chagim we shared with her, but especially Pesach, and she chose Pesach as a time to leave us.
Aviva was born in spring in Israel, hence the name Aviva, and died in spring in Israel. On Pesach we say, Aviv hikiya Pesach ba. Aviv is here, it is now Pesach. This time it was Aviva leaving and Pesach was here. She's now reunited with my beloved Abba.
We would like to quickly, on behalf of Liat, Alon,
Joel,
wherever he's disappeared to, as well, thank our mother Ziva for being the best role model of a daughter we could ask for. Although, of course, only Liat could ever live up to that, we all know Safta was probably just as proud and grateful for you as we are.
Yeah. That's really, really nice.